Hello guys, this is Pap from Pap back at it again, and of course after the ban list I couldn't do anything but this as first video. Of course we're talking about the 4 negation synchro deck updated, because now we can play on top of those, on that stuff we can play Berserker, that is free. But before jumping right into it guys, just a quick reminder, if you enjoy the content please leave a like and subscribe, I really appreciate it and it really helps me a lot. Let's jump right into it. So I'm here with yugioh of course, and it's upon eliminate the future. I think I don't need to explain this what the skill does anymore, it's such an old skill, but well, this is the deck list and the updated extra deck. So we're playing something different compared to the previous version. So basically the new additions are Junk Converter and Berserker of course. So let me start from the main deck, okay? So keep in mind guys, this deck has a very good turn 1. Because you know this is the famous 4 negation deck list that can bring you that can make an end board turn 1 with Crystal Wing, Void Ogre, and Sorrow Cat with this level changed to 2. That means that its Accel Synchro is enabled and you can potentially use Accel Synchro 2+8 into Stardust Warrior, and thus triggering the Synchro Chase that is given us for free by the skill. There you go. Thus triggering Synchro Chase when you summon Stardust Warrior and bring back one of the Synchro materials you used to go for the Accel Synchro. So what does that mean? Well, it means that you could potentially use double effect of Crystal Wing, that's why we have a total of 4 negations, or double effect of Void Ogre. Now, all these changes with the new addition, why these changes? Now, the change is that you can potentially use DRACO Berserker, even though if you have the full combo and you can go into this and this, you will still prefer these 2 instead of Berserker. So what is the advantage provided by Berserker here? Well, we have a couple of advantages. The first one is that if we break, like we have nothing other than Dawnwalker, well, Dawnwalker with summoning the Fire Ant Skater could not summon neither Void Ogre nor Crystal Wing, so your only chance was to summon Stardust Dragon, a very poor turn 1. But now if you completely break and you just have Dawnwalker, well, you can at least go into Berserker, and even achieving a field with Berserker and some Sorrow Cat gives you the chance of having double disruption, the one with Berserker that banishes stuff, and of course the summon negation with Stardust Warrior, right? Second advantage provided by Berserker is that it is giving us what the deck was missing. Now, despite having one of the greatest turn 1 in the game, of course without interruption, the problem was that the second turn was just not that good. We were struggling trying to OTK our opponent. Well, Berserker now instead gives us more firepower when we go second, because this guy can take out a couple of monsters all at once, because he's got the effect of attacking again, plus it boosts itself up with its attack when he pops a monster, and this can actually open the road to an OTK with Berserker, something that we didn't have neither with Crystal Wing nor with Void Ogre, especially if we go second, because from turn 3 and onward we can always rely on Quasar, but on turn 2 when we do not have access to Quasar, the only chance now is Berserker, right? And that's it. The other addition here is the Junk Converter. Now, we know that we have 3 combo lines here to go for our full combo. We have, for the level 8 summon, right? And we have the classic line with Doppel Warrior and Jet Synchron Engrave, so Doppel Warrior in hand and Jet Synchron. This is a line that without a normal summon gives you basically a level 8 that can be either Crystal Wing or Void Ogre, plus the Samsara Sorrow Cat coming back. Of course, the Samsara Sorrow Cat changed to 2 can be possible only if you have a Will Synchron in the grave. Then the other combo line is the one with Dawn Walker. It's simply aim with any card in hand, you discard and you got a level 8 on the field. That this time is not only Stardust Dragon, but now it can also summon Dragon Berserker. And last combo was with Junk Synchron, but to make it really like not dependent on a Synchro Chase, that's why we're playing Junk Converter. Now if you have Junk Synchron in hand and Junk Converter in grave, you have another 1 card combo into a level 8, and this time the level 8 provided by the line with Junk Synchron can be either Void Ogre or Crystal Wing, or also Dragon Berserker. So we have 3 lines that are more powerful than ever, and that can give you the chance of having a couple of level 8 bosses on the field. Now the Sorokat, keep in mind guys, comes back from the grave with its own effect, and again you have to remind that in this deck the Accel Synchro is possible only if you have the Will Synchron in grave, so that you can change the level of Samsara to 2, thus enable 2 plus any of these 8 to go into Stardust Warrior. Now, last thing to say, we have 1 copy of the Fire and Escator because of course it's summoned from the deck by the effect of Dawn Walker. Triple tuning, we love also to mill, any of these guys in the grave can be actually a blessing. Plus 1 Will Synchron is enough in my opinion. You're gonna search it with tuning, you can eventually mill it with tuning, but you search it and then you basically wanna have these at the end of your turn 1 and use the skill to discard Jet Synchron and get the Will Synchron, so that then you can use the effect of Jet Synchron from the grave to discard the Will and have the Jet on the field plus the Will in grave. Last but not least, this is really up to you guys. I put a couple of Lost Wind just because it really synergizes so good, even with the effect of Dawn Walker. Like if you have all cards that you do not want to discard, you can just discard the Lost Wind, and the Lost Wind will come back from the grave eventually as soon as your opponent summons a monster from the extra deck. So love it. And of course this perfectly synergizes also with tuning, cause if you accidentally mill it, it's still gonna be a blessing because it's gonna set itself on the field as soon as possible. And yep guys, that's it. Last thing to say, to play the Berserker, I removed the 2nd copy of Scarred Warrior. Now, you have to be very careful because that means that you cannot summon a 2nd Scarred Warrior while this one is still on the field. So you're gonna adjust your plays as to first send the Scarred Warrior to grave, then make it come back to the extra deck by reviving Samsara, and then you can summon a Scarred Warrior again. Eventually you need the 2nd one. Don't forget about it. And so the last thing is Trishula. Now, even though it's super easy to go into Trishula, like generally it can just be Dawn Walker, discarding any card, and then this little thing right here, the Synchron Explorer, or even the Jet Synchron plus Doppel Warrior in end, can just give you eventually a 1 plus 2 plus 8 is 11 Trishula. Now, despite being super easy to summon, if you're struggling with, adjust your plays without the 2nd Scarred Warrior, I would suggest you to remove the Trishula and have a 2nd Scarred Warrior. That can make your plays a little bit more easy. The point is that Trishula is super powerful, but we never have the chance to summon Trishula during our opponent's turn. This will be a play just to go during our turn, of course, and it depends. If the birds come back and they become more popular, you definitely have to play the Trishula. Honestly, I'm playing the Trishula, I'm playing this version because I know how to pilot the deck correctly, as I tried a lot of stuff with this, so I really know what to do, and still it happens sometimes that I just misplay, but still, this is the final version. Now, this is just the first video, guys, and also the first synchro version. There are many more to come, because again, the Berserker free was a blessing for all of the synchro decks, and yeah, this is just the first one, but this is potentially one of the... It's the pure one in terms of stuff, because there's no Machina in there, and it's the only one that can achieve the 4 negation turn 1s, and I think it's the most consistent in doing that. Anyway guys, if you have any question, don't forget to drop them in the comment section down below, and let's jump right into the replays. Here we go, my boys, already on a 3-win streak. This is the first replay against the Chronomaly deck that had a lot of plays. But you will see we have the full combo here. We basically have everything, like, I mean, all 3 lines, but keep in mind you don't need all of the 3 lines. You just need a couple. So 2 lines to have the full combo for negations, 2 of the 3 lines. So we started with getting the wheel synchron in end, discarding the jet synchron and having the synchro chase. Then first line, the one that actually needs no normal summon. So with jet synchron and doppel warrior in end, discarding the wheel synchron, and the yugioh doppel warrior summons itself. So 1 + 2 is 3 samsara, triggering the effect of doppel warrior, summoning a couple of tokens. 1, 1 and 3 is 5. That means Scout warrior is here, triggering synchro chase, bringing back the Sarah-cat, and here we go. You got already a level 8, but you're gonna wait because you're gonna use first the effect of Dawnwalker, discard a card. So no matter, we don't need junk synchron, any card it was, even a trap card, Dawnwalker special summon itself, and the fire and Escador from the deck. Then the Escador level 3 and the 5, the synchro 5, is going to Crystal Wing. Why? Because you want to save the Dark Tuner for another thing that you will see here, Void Ogre Dragon, because Void Ogre Dragon needs a Dark Tuner. Don't forget about it, don't misplay. And then last but not least, how do we complete this? Effect of Samsara Surrogate from the grave, shuffling the Scout Warrior, coming back on the field. Will synchron change the level from 3 to 2, and here it comes, full negation, turn 1. That's how you do it easily. So it's why for negation, again, for all of the people that didn't get it yet. Effect negation, spell trap negation, and then what happens? Accel synchro into a level 8, into a level 10, that is Stardust Warrior, trigger the synchro chase. So if you use Crystal Wing, with synchro chase you can make Crystal Wing come back, and you have another negation, because Crystal Wing, as well as Void Ogre, it's a soft once per turn. So if you summon it back from the grave, you can use the effect again. But let's see what this guy has. He's got Upfield Chronomaly to search the Crystal Bones, so he has the additional special summon to begin with, special summon effect. Guess what? Crystal Wing says no thank you, and then we changed the effect of Sorokat to Accel Synchro to be ready and have immediately another negation. So there you go, we got Stardust Warrior on the field that can negate in a special summon. Crystal Bone is negated, he avoids the destruction with the Akambaro figures, and then Synchro Chase is triggered and we can bring back the Crystal Wing. He's got the Typhoon, but guess what? Void Ogre negates that. Second negate, and then we got the Crystal Wing back on the field. He's got Akambaro figures on the field. Nebra Desk, guess what? As I told you, because it's soft once per turn, we can use this effect again. Negate with Crystal Wing. Goodbye to Nebradesk. He used his normal summon, so he can only exceed summon now. There you go, changing level into Vimana, but guess what? Stardust Warrior tributes itself and negates the summon. And phase, he comes back, and nothing can happen. Keep in mind, we have the negation again now. That is our turn. We can negate again a spell trap card as long as we have no cards in end. So that's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Second duel, my boys. This was the 5th win in a row, and it still has to go first. We got tuning to begin with. Sending the doppel warrior to grave. We still have the one. So we have now a couple of... We have 2 combo lines, right? But we missed the junk converter in grave for now. So, but we still can achieve 3 negation at least. So we started with tuning. We milled a lost win. That's super important because it's like searching it basically. Then we got the effect of Jet Synchron, Doppel Warrior stuff, so as you can see straight away into Surrogat. Again, same thing as before, we got the token coming out with the Surrogat into Scarred Warrior, triggering the effect of Synchro Chase, then Junk Synchron into the Doppel Warrior, then I went first into Crystal Wing, but at this point, as Surrogat comes back, as you can see, and now I go into a level 5, but that's the problem, without a Junk Converter, that is not enough. So now I had to choose between having the Accel Synchro, Crystal Wing, and Soul Rocket, right? To go into Stardust Warrior, or having just a couple of level 8s. And in this case, I decided to go into Berserker. Why? Because I had the card in end, so going into Void Ogre would have not made sense. So there you go, here it comes. The two boys are now able to be in together. So first summon the effect of a Samurai Skull, but you do not negate that, because if this card leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, it gets to summon another monster. So you get that, stay okay, and then he's got the effect of Jacobolan. We wanna banish that with Berserker. Then he's got Banshee's effect. Guess what? Crystal Wing says no thank you, and he's scooped because no spell card, no field spell on the field. So what's the name? The Ballad Rush cannot come back, and of course we have the same negation next turn. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Third duel, my boys, we got the birds. Let's see what we have here. So it's us to go first. We got the tuning, a milling, a junk synchron. And so I forgot to tell you guys, the Synchron Explorer is here just in case you brick. And if you got only the junk synchron, at least with Synchron Explorer you have one card combo into a level 8 synchro. That's why Synchron Explorer is there, just to avoid bricking. So we got, and now this actually can be useful, right? So we got Synchro Chase to begin with. I started with the Escator the Downwalker to have the 5 and 3, that is 8. DRACO Berserker is here and is top tier. Then Synchron Explorer to do this stuff. Now we had a couple of chances here. I could either go into level 3 Samsara, or I could choose the junk synchron and go into a double level 8, maybe Crystal Wing. But he's got the Vader, actually, so no Synchron Explorer. Actually, we still have what we want to do, because Jet Synchron comes back by itself. 1 + 2 is 3, Samsara Soul Rocket is here, changing the level, and here it comes. You got still, even though it's just 2 negation, why it's 2 negations and not 3? Because Berserker is a hard once per turn. So even though you bring me back with the effect of Synchro Chase, if you use the effect, you still can't use that again. So he's got to begin with Dark Hole, and that's what the Accel Synchro comes in clutch, because you chain Sorokat's effect, Accel Synchro into Stardust Warrior gets destroyed. That does not change, of course, but what happens is that the Synchro Chase brings back the Berserker, so that means you still have an interruption. So also the effect of Stardust Warrior gives you the Scarred Warrior on the field in that position, and then instead of the Berserker, I decided to have these two boys. Why? So that I can Accel Synchro into Crystal Wing if I wanted to. He went with Typhoon, so why didn't he change that, use that before? Because the last effect that I activated was Stardust Warrior, and guess what? It cannot respond to the effect of Warrior, Synchron, or Stardust in the original names. That's why it couldn't change that to the effect of Synchro Chase. So I chain blanked that. Unfortunately, it's got nothing, but even there I could have just gone into my Crystal Wing. We got the Sorokat that comes back, as you can see, and Void Ogre Dragon is still field to make sure that that back row cannot be activated, and we just go for lethal. So keep in mind, Synchro Chase and Accel Synchro could be actually your escape chance for something like Dark Hole, or eventually even Book of Eclipse. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. For duel, my boys, let's see what we have. Time Thief. But we're going first again. Not the craziest of the turn 1. I went with the Synchron Explorer, so no Accel Synchro actually in this case, because we pretty much bricked. So we got Synchron Explorer to get that. Then level 3 Samsara Sorokat. Definitely. And I used the effect of Junk Synchron to get the junk. We got Downwalker's effect to summon the Fire Ant Escador, and here comes Stardust Dragon. Now let me explain this. I could have gone into Berserker, of course, but I actually used this to trigger the effect of Synchro Chase, having the Downwalker back, and then you go into Berserker, so you got 2. And I know, I mean, this is not really because I believe that the negation of a destruction effect to be useful, but just because, and actually look at this, I didn't think this was possible again, because this duel I think were one after the other, but But I did this just because I said, you know what? Eventually, I will already have the Stardust Dragon in the grave if I have to use the skill, right? It was just for that. But instead, it was a super play because it's got Dark Hole. But of course, Stardust Dragon says no thank you and negates. And look at this guy. I think he's got then... Yes, Book of Eclipse. I don't know why he didn't the opposite and activate first test, so it didn't make sense to me. Luckily, we still have the last window, but what a turn one he has. He had Darkle and Book of Eclipse, so he's got Time Thief Regulator, so we're waiting to negate basically the Redware, right? Because Last Wind is a permanent negation, so if we negate Redware, we're chilling for the rest of the duel. So, but keep in mind that Redware can just tag himself out. So how do you make sure that he cannot dodge this? Simply by activating Last Wind into the damage step, into the damage calculation. So we're waiting for that. It's got the full combo because of course we're not gonna use Last Wind for anything else. Let's speed things up. Now he's attacking, right? And he went for lethal because Vespenado actually inflict piercing damage. I could have avoided that, but again, I just wanted to make sure that Redware had no effect at all. So again, going for lethal damage step, Lost Wind. You negate that, and we're chilling, we're alive. Stardust Dragon comes back on the field at the end of the turn. Now we can just use also the skill to go into Quasar. Let's see what happens. It's got the effect of Redware, negated, and there you go. About to eliminate the future, getting of course the 2 level 7 dragon, the 2 Cyanide dragons, then the skill again to have the level 8. Quasar is here. We know that back row is the counter trap, so we just have to get rid of that, but again we can just go on. Junk Synchron, getting the Synchron Explorer, ship to avoid that. Shooting Quasar Dragon says no thank you and negates ship because now we can go level 5 into Scarred Warrior. Synchro Chase activates, gets back the Junk Synchron. Level 8, guess what? Crystal Wing, but it could have been anything else. Also Samsara coming back eventually, and then we're just attacking. We have lethal through the double attack of Quasar, as you can see. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Last but not least, we're going second this time, and against Secret Beast Be Cunning, we do not have a full, a crazy turn one, but it depends on what we draw next, of course. We have Secret Beast, so let's speed things up. We know what these guys do. So he's got the Duck Be Cunning, Duck Summoning Beast, he's got a big boy on the field, so what is gonna end with? Double draw. So he's got, also the Allure of Darkness. So what? He actually helped us drawing the Doppel Water, so that was just perfect. So he's gonna end the turn with a negation, because this can negate a spell or trap effect, right? Spell trap effect as long as he has the Amon, and then a back row. So at least 2 interruptions. Let's see what we have. We have the Bond Eliminate the Future, got that. So we are missing basically the normal summon. So, but we are searching that. We're searching Jet Synchron. Then we use the effect of Jet Synchron from the grave. The Skara card summon itself triggers Doppel Warrior, so Doppel Warrior and Jet into Sorrow Cat. Doppel Warrior summoning a couple of tokens, then level 5 Scarred Warrior is here and it's top tier. Synchro Chase brings back that, but he negates that, so that was good. At this point, Junk Synchron to get a boy from the grave, Chalice to stop it, but still, it's not that much of a problem because we can still go into Crystal Wing, Synchro Dragon, attacking Yaman, getting the boost from the fact that he's a big boy, and we also have the Last Wind, so he's got the effect of the Duck Summoning Beast, negated, still the effect from the grave, getting the Raviel, and then the Spirit Gate to get the Chaos Summoning Beast, its effect to summon a Raviel, and now Fallen Paradise, draw 2, get the Duck Becoming Beast, getting the Hyper Blaze, and at this point he's just... Actually, he's not attacking. Why didn't attack? Oh, because here's the effect of this, if I'm not wrong. But you cannot attack for the rest of this turn, yeah. It was the effect of Duck Summoning Beast. So, now we have... or maybe just because he realized that he can't go through over this. So, we use the effect to get Sorrow Cat, changing the level into 2 eventually. Now we're just attacking. Crystal Wing and actually we have lethal. And this was a misplay. I should have attacked first with Sorrokat the zero attack, and then finished him with Crystal Wing. That was a misplay, but still, he's got Hyper Blaze to get the Hamon back, and the Spirit Gates to summon the Key Summoning Beast, and he keeps on summoning stuff. Guess what? Crystal Wing just says no thank you. You're done with that, and at this point he's got nothing else. We can just attack Hyper Blaze to get that, but it will do literally nothing. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. So guys, that was all for the replays. Of course, I can't exclude the fact that maybe we're gonna play this on stream next week in any of the streams. I'm not sure. I first want to go through all of the deck list that I have to update thanks to this recent ban list. So hope you enjoyed this. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below or in the Discord if you haven't joined it yet. Keep in mind, it's free. Guys, again, please don't forget to leave a like to the video. It's super important for me and it costs nothing to you. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.